Denmark's parliament is holding an emergency meeting right now, a classified emergency meeting to deal with the potential invasion by the United States, to prepare for a potential invasion by the United States. This is happening at the same time that the Trump regime sent its envoy to Greenland, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, on the various network news channels today, where Jeff Landry, Trump's envoy, says all options are on the table, including an invasion of Greenland, unless they do exactly what we want them to do. There was also a closed-door emergency session with the United States Senate, and the Democratic senators who attended these emergency meetings said that they were not satisfied by the responses from Rubio and Hegseth and others in this Trump regime when asked about their plans to potentially invade Cuba, Colombia, Greenland, and other parts of the Western Hemisphere. You now also have the European countries that include France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, the United Kingdom, and the Kingdom of Denmark putting out the following statement. And the Prime Minister of the Netherlands also put out a statement in support of this statement. This is the joint statement on Greenland. Let me read it to you. Arctic security remains a key priority for Europe, and it is critical for international and transatlantic security. NATO has made clear that the Arctic region is a priority, and European allies are stepping up. We and many other allies have increased our presence, activities, and investments to keep the Arctic safe and deter adversaries. The Kingdom of Denmark, including Greenland, is part of NATO. Security in the Arctic must therefore be achieved collectively in conjunction with NATO allies, including the United States, by upholding the principles of the UN Charter, including sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the inviolability of borders. These are universal principles, and we will not stop defending them. The United States is an essential partner in this endeavor as a NATO ally, and through the defense agreement between the Kingdom of Denmark and the United States of 1951. Greenland belongs to its people. It is for Denmark and Greenland and them only to decide on matters concerning Denmark and Greenland. As I said, the Prime Minister of the Netherlands joined this statement. By the way, make sure you hit subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. You may think that you're subscribed, but double check. You may not actually be subscribed. So let's try to get this network to 6 million subscribers by the end of this month, why don't we say? Now, I want to share this with you as well. Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, who's the envoy to Greenland, and he's expressed that his intent is to seize it, is to take it, and to make it part of the United States. He was asked, well, are you talking about doing business with Greenland or invading it and annexing it? This was Landry's response moments ago. Play this clip.
This is an opportunity for Greenlanders and, say, the governor of Louisiana, do business with Louisiana, with other states as well. I was talking to the governor of Alaska.
You're talking about doing business. So this is just us going there and doing deals with them, or is this us taking it over? Because President Trump has spoken pretty differently about it.
I think that the president is one of those people that says everything is on the table. Right? And again,
but then are you saying everything should be on the table?
I think that we should go to Greenland and say, hey, what kind of opportunities would you like? What are we doing? What can we offer you that Europe is not offering?
That makes sense.
But the big difference is there, and I'm back to the Godfather again. There's a way of saying inducing someone with a carrot to do what you want, and there's another way which says, I made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
And here's Landry saying that this is about the Monroe Doctrine. We need to dominate the Western Hemisphere. The U.S. needs to take the Western Hemisphere for itself, and that includes Greenland. Here, play this clip.
Can't wait to have discussions with Greenlanders about the opportunities that we can do in Louisiana. Look, we got great things happening in Louisiana. We got great things happening in the United States. I think the president is extremely committed to the Monroe Doctrine. It's something that has eroded. We look at what Venezuela has done in the amount of drugs that have come into the United States and the families that have been affected and wrecked by the narco trade since the 90s. He's the first president to finally do something real about the war on drugs. Again, I think that solidifying the Western Hemisphere is good for the United States and good for the states that are in the United States like Louisiana. And Greenland is in the Western Hemisphere.
Now, a Danish member of the European Union Parliament, Anders Vistisen, he was on CNN, and here's what he said when he was asked about Stephen Miller and others in the Trump regime saying that they want to invade Greenland and take it over. Here, play this clip right here.
No.
One of Trump's senior aides, though, just a few moments ago, Stephen Miller, spoke out. I don't know if you heard this, Anders. So given what you just said, I just want to play what Stephen Miller said for you.
The real question is, by what right does Denmark assert control over Greenland? What is the basis of their territorial claim? What is their basis of having Greenland as a colony of Denmark? The United States is the power of NATO. For the United States to secure the Arctic region, to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests, obviously Greenland should be part of the United States. Nobody's going to fight the United States militarily over the future of Greenland.
What's your response to that, Anders?
My response is that Denmark landed on Greenland before anyone ever thought about making the United States of America. So by that logic, the United States of America should go back to be a colony of the United Kingdom. But I don't see that as a very realistic outcome. And I think again and again, we are seeing this administration talking about Greenland with no knowledge about the history of the place, with no knowledge about the fact on the ground. When Denmark sold what is today the U.S. Virgin Islands, the United States signed a treaty with Denmark 100 years ago that the United States of America accepted Danish full control over the territory of Greenland. So if the United States administration is in doubt who gave us that territory, they can just go back and look into their own records and there see that it is among all the other countries in the world, the United States who have said that Greenland belonged to the territory of Greenland belonged to the Kingdom of Denmark.
So tonight, and I think that bringing up that Treaty of the Virgin Islands is fascinating, and I thank you for that.
Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. Your information is a commodity, and anyone on the web can buy private details about you. That can open the door to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But now you could take steps to protect your privacy with Delete Me. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is really important to me. My name and information are out there constantly, and I've seen how quickly things can spiral when personal data ends up in the wrong hands. Even if you haven't dealt with identity theft or harassment yourself, you probably know someone who has. Removing your data can help to protect yourself, and Delete Me makes that process simple. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Meidas and use promo code Meidas at checkout. That's MEIDAS. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Meidas and enter code Meidas at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Meidas. Code Meidas.
So a reporter asks the Senate Majority Leader John Thune moments ago, when the president talks about Cuba, Colombia, Greenland, do you take him at his word? And Thune says, look, I think Thune, the Senate Majority Leader who used to act like he was a moderate Republican, he's like, we're open to these invasions. Here, play this clip.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning.
When the president talks about Cuba, talks about Colombia, and he talks about Greenland, is that just bluster, or do you take him at his word?
Well, I think the president has demonstrated, at least already, a very strong commitment to peace through strength, and especially in this hemisphere. And I think Venezuela delivered or got that message loudly and clearly. And I think other countries in this hemisphere who are cooperating with narco-terrorists or in league with China and Russia and Iran and countries like that need to be on notice. And so I think the president's, this is not idle threats. I think his indication is that the United States is going to take care of America's vital national security interests, and that people in this region of the world ought to be working constructively with us to ensure that happens. And in the case of the narco-terrorists, it's protecting a lot of Americans from the poisonous impact of illegal drugs coming into this country, or again, becoming a safe harbor for energy interests by countries like Russia and China and Iran.
Then you have Democratic senators like Democratic Senator Schumer said that he asked for assurances about whether or not there would be these invasions of these other countries, and he was not satisfied with the answer. Play this clip.
I asked for some assurances that they were not planning operations in other countries, and I named a few of the ones you mentioned, including Colombia and Cuba, and I was very, very disappointed in their answer. Thank you, everybody.
This is what Senator Duckworth had to say moments ago. Let's play this clip.
Look, I don't know. Maybe Trump dodged the draft so many times that he isn't capable of understanding the lessons that the rest of us have learned from past conflicts that are based on lies. We fought a war in Iraq for oil. We sent troops there, myself included, looking for weapons of mass destruction that did not exist. It was a war that was built on bluster and bravado from ignorance and arrogance of those in leadership. And yet here we are again in Venezuela.
Now, while you had the emergency meeting in the Danish parliament about potentially preparing for a U.S. invasion, you have Mette Frederiksen, the Prime Minister of Denmark, posted the following. Good meeting with Prime Minister Carney today. They met in Paris. Reaffirmed close bonds between our two countries. Discuss security in the Arctic, express my appreciation for Canada's strong support of the Kingdom of Denmark in the current situation. In other words, Prime Minister Carney stepping up as the leader of the free world, essentially, and saying that they would protect Denmark in the event of an invasion into Greenland and be a protector of Greenland. Prime Minister Carney then responds with his own post. Canada and Denmark are allies and partners in our shared responsibility for the security and resilience of the Arctic. As I reaffirmed to Prime Minister Frederiksen today, Canada will always support the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Denmark, including Greenland. Together, we will keep working to secure peace in Ukraine and across Europe as well. Let me share with you the video of that interaction between the Prime Minister of Denmark, Mette Frederiksen, and the Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney. Let's play this clip right now.
The future of Greenland and Denmark are decided solely by the people of Denmark. In Greenland, we know that. It's why we cooperate, as I said at the start, and I'll finish here, why we cooperate culturally, why we cooperate economically, and why we cooperate in security.
I don't have a lot to add. I totally agree with you. We are very close allies and friends. I would like to thank you for your work within the Coalition of the Willing, your support to European security. We work very closely together in the Baltic states as well, and you have been very clear in your statement when it comes to the respect of national sovereignty and the respect of our common values. The only values where you can build a global world society on. So I really appreciate your strong support. I think we are both very into securing the Arctic region, and together with other NATO allies, we can secure the region. So hopefully everybody is willing to work together. And I think you are a very good friend, a very close ally to not only Denmark but Europe. So
thank you very much.
And then finally, I'll share this with you, although not in the region. The South African President Ramaphosa just gave an interview where he gave the following statement about Trump's invasion of Venezuela and the threats to invade other countries as well. Let's play it.
Displacement. It is our commitment to international law and the United Nations Charter that informs our deep concern and action of the United States in Venezuela, which has undermined the territorial integrity and sovereignty of a UN member state called Venezuela. We reject utterly the actions that the United States has embarked upon and stand with the people of Venezuela. And we demand the release of President Maduro and his wife as well. We reiterate our call for decisive action by the United Nations Security Council to fulfill its mandate and advance peace and security.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll keep you posted every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network. Now hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. We appreciate you so much.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.